Up when you're ready, please. All right. 3 years ago today, we had rioters try to burn down the city of Columbia. They took over a peaceful demonstration and turned it into something that was very ugly and unnecessary. Unfortunately, we saw that again yesterday and last night. A peaceful demonstration, people voicing their feelings, which is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Then about 9:30 last night, then the rioters take over and hijack what the peaceful protesters were trying to do, and then they started looting and trying to destroy a store, which is totally unnecessary. Now what this placed us to do is what we did 3 years ago. Go find those responsible and lock them up. We had one tragedy the other night when the 14-year-old was shot. Why in the world did we have to continue to have what we had last night with people just going out and stealing and trying to destroy? That's not what this is about. That's not what the family of that 14-year-old wants. That's not what this community wants. That's not what this community stands for. Just like 3 years ago, the community stood up and said, no, we don't need that here in Columbia. And we're getting the same thing today. Numerous calls, and text messages, and emails from people saying, why? Why did that happen? I can't stand here and tell you why, but I will stand here and tell you that we're not going to tolerate that, just like we didn't tolerate it 3 years ago. We're going to identify every one of those people who went in that store last night and destroyed it and looted it and stole stuff. What does stealing a case of beer have to do with a 14-year-old being shot and a person responsible charged with murder? Somebody explain that. What does that have to do with stealing beer? What does that have to do with this young man losing his life? It's just totally uncalled for. So, we're not going to allow it. We closed it down and stopped it last night. Those who are trying to do it today are going to be met with the same thing. Now, we have to dedicate deputies now to guard the store, to keep it from being destroyed. That store did not shoot that 14-year-old. The person responsible has been arrested. He's in jail. He's in jail, exactly where he needs to be. That's where justice is being served. Justice is being served by us going out and making an arrest. Justice is not served by going in and stealing cases of beer. That's just not what justice is about. So the message to those who are peaceful protesting, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. We'll support you. Peaceful protesting, that's fine. Have your voice heard. But those who want to go out here and become criminals, and that's what they are, criminals, by breaking in that store and looting it, they're going to be treated just like what they are, criminals. And we're going to arrest them and lock them up. Now, we continue to investigate this case. We're asking that if anyone that was there that may have additional video that we don't have or saw anything that night, please contact us. Just call the Sheriff's Department. You can call the main number. We'll get you to investigators that are working the case. This case is progressing. We will continue to investigate it, but we don't need that. We don't need that right now. That brings back painful memories of 3 years ago today where people took over that peaceful demonstration in the city of Columbia and decided they were going to loot and steal and hurt people. We're not going to have that. This case is about a 14-year-old boy who was shot and killed. It's also about the person that was arrested who's being held responsible for it and held accountable for it. That's what our job is. Our job is not now to guard this store, and that's what we have to do. So, again, we're asking anyone out there, please contact us if you got any information, not only about the shooting of the 14-year-old, but that right there. The videos, people who were peacefully protesting, who saw that, who called me last night, who texted me last night and said it is out of control. Those of us who are here protesting peacefully, it is out of control. It's beyond our control anymore. We have a different group who's here. We have a different group who don't care about that 14-year-old, who only care about going in and stealing something and destruction. We welcome your phone calls too. We welcome your videos that you got. Questions?
You mentioned a case of beer. What all was stolen from there?
Just everything, just a little bit of everything. Just everything they could get their hands on. It was nothing but looting. Just plain, pure looting. And what does that got to do with that 14-year-old? Nothing. Just going in there and stealing whatever you can get your hands on.
Do you know how many individuals were looking for, and was there cameras at the gas station that helped?
Yeah, we got film. We got cameras. And we're going to get them identified, and we're going to get them arrested. Again, no different than what happened 3 years ago today, and where we arrested over 100 people that were involved in that. We're going to arrest these people also. But why? Why? Why do we have to spend the resources and time doing this? Why do you have to go out and just hijack something that's good that's going on? It's good going on about something that's bad has happened, and then we have that. Just why? And shame on those who did it. Shame on those who participated in it. Shame on those who were there. And shame on you if you don't say something. If this is what you want the world to see, that this Columbia is about, if that's what you want everybody to think, that what Columbia and Richland County is about is right there, that's terrible.
So to clarify, do you have an estimate of how many people you think were involved?
No, I'm not going to give you a number at this point. I don't have an estimate. It was a good number of people.
You said that you guys are going to have deputies guarding the store now. Do you know how long that might take or how long they'll be there?
No, I don't. I don't. But that's resources that the taxpayers are now having to pay. Taxpayers are paying for us to guard that store because of the limited number of individuals who want to do something like that. Instead of go out there in memory of this 14-year-old boy and support of his family, they want to do that. That's not supporting that family. That's not supporting them one bit.
What types of charges or consequences for those?
Well, burglary, they're breaking into a business at night. They're stealing. There's plenty of things we can charge them with.
Have any suspects particularly been identified, specific individuals?
No, I'm not going to identify anybody right now. I want them to watch this and worry about when I'm going to come knocking on their door at 4 o'clock in the morning when the sheriff's deputy knocks on their door and puts handcuffs on them. Go ahead, drink that beer and enjoy it right now because you're going to pay for it later.
We've seen people earlier inside of the caution tape, so I'm sure, is that also a violation of some sort of law?
We're going to ask them to leave. That's a crime scene. We're going to ask them not to go within that area. Yesterday, again, I think all of y'all saw yesterday the amount of people that were there. They were just talking, just expressing their opinion, their views, the hurt, their anger, but they didn't do that. You know, they were there most of the day yesterday, and they didn't do that. It was last night when a group of those who wasn't part of this group over here decided they were going to do this. So that's the ones going to pay the price for it.
Just to clarify, how'd you guys kind of find out about it? Somebody made a call and said, hey, it's getting out of hand, it's getting out of control?
Yeah, pretty much that's it. And then an alarm goes off. I mean, my hope was that we would not have that. I had talked to most of the people that were, I'm not going to say in charge, but were leaders out there, and feelings were the same as I was, that, you know, let's keep this peaceful. And then they were the ones who started calling and saying, look, it's not peaceful anymore. It's not peaceful. So that's when we responded last night and cleared the store out and basically took back control over it. So, all right, thank y'all.